Namato Ratanatayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello everyone, good evening. This is Achan Sujan from Varapunya Meditation Center. As usual, I'm here this evening on 26th of Sunday the 26th April 2020. Hello David, hello Manish, hello Shannon, hello Margaret. So today is Sunday the 26th. In few days the April is going to end. So time flies so fast. Time is fast moving. January was so slow. February and March was again kind of uncertainty and excitement and fear. And now April, so much happened. So much thing happening from the end of the March, and now it's already over a month that we have experienced this uncertainty and difficult situation, and by now every one of us have learned how to adapt and how to adjust in this uncertain time. I remember when the lockdown began, everybody was so excited. Everybody was so happy that they are going to have a holiday sort of staying at home and nothing to do, nowhere to go, don't have to do work, but enjoying. And all the streets were so empty, so calm, and everybody was just enjoying. And you can see social media that on a social, like a Facebook page, everybody was just enjoying this moment. And as days passed, week passed, gradually everyone became fed up with the situation that needed to be staying at one place and confine and quarantine oneself, self-isolating, and become a problem, and began to think I should be going to work, or I should be doing this or that, right? So uncertainty is always there. Even in Scotland, we had a lovely 1 week, great weather with the sunshine, wonderful weather. And today, this morning, it was still sunny, but later you can see rain falls. So nature is such, always adapting and always changing and always moving from one to another. And we as a human, we learn to adapt and adjust and how to live in this uncertain time. And gradually it's become a used to with us, and we live happily with this uncertainty. And this appeared to be same with this COVID-19 and all these measures. It was hard, it was exciting at first to begin with, and it gradually it became hard. So much troubles and so much anxiety and so much depression and anxious and a fear of uncertainty. And gradually, as week passed, we felt like it's okay to go out, it's okay to enjoy, and sort of a fear is fading away, unless any members of our family has got this COVID-19 and suffering. Only then we have this little bit of a fear still exists and promote or spread out the word of isolation little bit stricter. So this is what's happening, and as we can see that the death roll is still up and up, running and increasing, but however we always have a hope that one day we can go out and about and enjoy, although we may have to preserve, maintain the self-isolating. But as the Queen said, we will meet again. So we are not letting anyone to live alone, and we are not letting them to stay isolated and mentally disturbed. Wherever possible, whenever possible, just extend your hand on your phone and call and say hi and hello. Just reading the name Sarala. Hello Sarala, I'm glad you are still coming back. And Kishore from Birmingham, haven't seen you long. Manish, Ranjani, Kanya, oh, it's a Jersey. Thank you Kanya for your face masks and donation as well. So thank you very much everyone for watching and coming every night to watch and listen to these reflections. This evening at first I thought I will go out and sit in our garden to speak with you, so I can show you the changes in the trees, in the nature, and the flowers and all the trees blossoming and so and would link with what we are going through. But unfortunately, because of the showering rain, I had to come back inside the room, and I'm living in this living room. So first of all, I would like to have got one question regarding the practice of a meditation, that should we change to be Buddhist or not in order to practice Buddhism. My humble answer would be, you don't have to change your religion to practice Buddhism, and Buddhism never asks you to change your religion unless you really want to change yourself and strictly or seriously practicing its principles. When the Buddha was enlightened in Buddha Gaya, present day in Bihar, India, after his enlightenment, when he traveled to Sarnath, the Banaras, present day Banaras in India, to give a talk, a first sermon. After he gave a first sermon, he had 5 disciples for the first time. And after he had those 5 disciples, he stayed in that area for another 3 months. During this 3 months' time, as another group of people became a monk, along with the Yesa, the millionaire. And that's how, end of the 3 months' time, there were 61 enlightened beings on earth at that time. Having seen that, the Buddha summoned as an agenda and as also instruction to the monks, that so-called go monks, for the good and benefit of all gods and humans, benefit in the middle, beginning, middle and end. And that's how Buddha's dispensation began spreading all around. And his instruction even was that one monk goes one direction and never go two monks at the same direction. So with that, 60 monks traveled in 60 directions. And even the Buddha, he himself traveled in one direction too. And with that, the Buddha's dispensation or Buddha's message spread so quickly in villages and in the cities. Along this time, many other different faiths that were during that time also came to contact with Buddhism. When we read the scripture, we can find that there are about 60 views or 60 types of beliefs exist during his time. And during this time, so as a result, he came across with so many different types of views. And whenever he come across with those views, he never rejected any of those views. Simply, he said that if you are following this view, you will end up in this, or you will achieve that aims. And that's how Buddhism began. And I think Buddhist scripture, or so-called Tipitaka, is the only scripture I could see that preserves other religious and faith theories and practices, which we will not be able to find any other scriptures, religious scriptures, apart from denying. So there is a beautiful story that during the time of the Buddha it took place. One of the disciples well learned of one of the faith groups, and having seen his talent and intelligence, a faith group sent him to debate with the Buddha, hoping that he will defeat the Buddha in the discussion. So then this gentleman Mahali approached to the Buddha and had a great discussion on the different topics. And the story goes on, and it ends saying that he was unable to satisfy or answer the Buddha's questions. And as a result of that, he further studied with the Buddha on Buddha's teachings. And at the end, he wanted to be Buddhist, or in a way, he wanted to convert into Buddhism. At that time, Buddha instructed him, although you decided to be a Buddha, decided to be a Buddhist, you still should maintain your respect to your old teachers, so previous masters. Previous masters. You will not disregard or disrespect your previous masters. So like that. And in the meanwhile, as a monk, we have certain principles to follow when we go out and teach or spread or share the Buddha's teachings. And one of the principles is, as a monk, we simply give an advice, and we simply present these are the teachings that will bring happiness and that will bring benefit to you. And there is no intention of converting at all. That's why there are certain principles that the monks should follow, as the monks are teaching not for gain, not for fame, and not for converting any person. So that's why this is what we need to be mindful at all the time. And with this in mind, we can see that it doesn't matter whether you are following or being a Buddhist or not. The matter is your practice. If you practice properly, then you don't have to be a Buddhist. If you are having a crown of a Buddhist but not practicing at all, then that crown doesn't make sense. So practice is the important part rather than converting or calling oneself as a Buddhist. So practice is the important. And again, the liberation or the result of the practice is not depends on you become a Buddhist or you become a monk or a nun. The result of the practice simply based on your dedication, on your effort, how much you dedicate in your practice and how much you have understood, and only then that defines the result of it. And the liberation is based on that. So it doesn't matter who we are, it's a matter of making a good cause for the liberation. When we have a good cause, we have accumulated a good cause for the liberation, definitely the liberation will be there. And again, you don't have to be a monk or a nun either to be enlightened. Only difference is once you become a monk or a nun, there is more chance or more time, should be more time to practice meditation and cultivating your mind. And that pays that pays the path to the liberation. But again, unfortunately, there are the misconception that when you become a monk, you are doing nothing apart from staying at a temple and meditating. But in reality, once you become a monk, there is not just your responsibility to be a monk and then to enlightened, but there are other responsibilities will follow that are even related to the society and people and so and so. So as a result of that, as a monk, we need to be very mindful of every action that we take and involving not only self-development but also helping other members in a society to grow with it. Particularly in the West, as a monk, we have to deal with so many issues with the people, helping people, and counseling, and support, giving a support, visiting and helping, and these things, all sort of things that a monk have to do. And even the centers become a place that is open 24/7 days, that people will come and get spiritual support. So as a monk, we are simply like giving you a support to grow and have a happy life. It's like a child need parents' support. As a monk, we are simply helping you to grow in the moral life, moral ethical living, and also practicing to cultivate good things, good in you. And with this, as a monk, again, we are not teaching to anyone to convert from one religious group to the Buddhists or this group. Because the first practice, the first achievement of Buddhist practice of a meditation is to get rid of so-called the identity or the personality view, that this is me, that's mine. That's called Sotapanna, the first noblehood state. Until we arrive or achieve the first noblehood, we are simply conventional Buddhists. We are not a real Buddhist, because we still violate even the 5 precepts. And our faith on the Buddha or a Buddha's teachings are still not strong enough. And we are just simply on and off. Because there is identity that this is me. I am belong to this group and that group. I follow this group and that group, and so and so. So the first practice in Buddhism is to eradicate this called the personality view, Sakkaya Ditthi. I am this, I am that. And very moment, once we are able to free from this personality view of this is me, this is mine, I am this and I am that, only then we become real Buddhists. So the very moment when we say that this is me, we are projecting our identity, our personality view that I am exist. Whereas the very moment when we get rid of this I-ness and my-ness, at that moment we become a real Buddhists. And the practice of a meditation, as much as we practice, and once we got the right understanding about it, the right understanding about the teachings, in that moment what happens is our mind becomes softer. Our mind is like, as I said in one of the previous nights, like that our mind becomes like a water, fluidity, ability to adjust, ability to accept, but maintain its quality, but maintain its essence. And that is what we need. So that's why, to summarize, if you want to practice Buddhism and Buddhist meditation, you don't have to convert to Buddhism or to be a Buddhist. As long as you can practice at least of 5 precepts, maintain some form of self-control and these meditations, and having a right attitude and right understanding, that is all needed. As a lay person or a householder, what need to develop is learning to give, learning to share, and only then that pays, that helps to develop furthermore, living an ethical life and ability to cleanse our mind. So I offer this as a reflection, as also answer to you all, those who are thinking to convert to Buddhism. And obviously, after you have studied and practiced and understood, then after that, it's up to you whether you want to follow strictly or seriously the Buddha's path or not. And if you are sure and you are confirmed by yourself and developed a strong faith and confidence in Buddha's teachings, then you can come to the center or approach to a monk or a practitioner and formally taking a refuge on the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And with that, you formally become a Buddhist. And that again, you are not taking your Buddhist as a show off. You're not taking all the knowledge that you have developed as in order to dominate somebody, that I have known this, I have known this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But these should be a helper or assistant to grow in this spiritual life, and also helping to give up this personality view of this me, that mine. Okay, so I offer this as a reflection for tonight, and thank you everyone for following and listening to me every night, and we'll come back tomorrow once again, at 6:30. And if you have any feedbacks or any questions you would like to ask, again, you can post. I will try to catch up and will answer. If not, again, you're most welcome to listen every night, and I will be here as a friend with you at home. Just simply another activity that you can join with me. So with this, may you be happy, peaceful, successful. May you have a good health, and stay safe, take care, and good night. We will have a chanting and meditation session following. If you are continuing, then you can come and join as well. Yes, Sarala, hope my friends got the answer if they are listening. Okay, right, good. So you can share, and you can share this session, or I will later on put it on a website, on YouTube. You can share it to your friends if they would like to hear it. Right, okay, we'll see you in few minutes for the chanting, and half an hour later we will have meditation, guided meditation. Okay, good night. Thank you.